Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day I bid to everyone. My name is Nurhanis binti Muhammad Hafizi. I'm representing as MK Padang Saujana. On this lovely day, I feel very delighted as I'm about to deliver a speech regarding the advantages and disadvantages of social media to our society. Social media, a very familiar word, right? If you don't know about social media or are not in any social media platforms, most people will consider you as being left behind. Social media is a medium that allows interaction between people through communication and even exchange ideas and information in virtual community. Nowadays, the usage of social media is growing rapidly among Malaysians. If you notice, most people around you are holding their cell phones most of the time, especially if you are in big cities like Kuala Lumpur or Putrajaya. Even at family gathering, you could see that not only youngsters but also adults use social media to share their cherished moments with their family, let others know their whereabouts, having a moment to check latest updates around the globe, and the list goes on. On 27 April 2023, statistics shows that over 26.8 million Malaysians are active social media users, which is around 78.5% of us. I could even bet that you who are watching this right now also have engaged in social media. However, the real question is, does social media always give good effects to their users, or is it the other way around? I couldn't deny that there are a lot of social media advantages. One of them that it allows people from all over the world to keep in touch and communicate with their friends, family members, and even make new connections. You can make new friends with people who have similar interests with you. In fact, people even create groups that accommodate subscribers who share similar interests and life goals where they support and assist each other. Again, there are friends and family members who live thousands miles away from us. But through social media, it is easy to often communicate with them. It allows us to increase intimacy and reduce costs. We can see how it played an important role when the COVID-19 hit the nation. At the time, we couldn't leave our house due to the MCO, which stands for Movement Control Order. We couldn't hang out with our friends or have dinner with our family. However, with the existence of social media, we could still contact them via video calls and chats so we can check on them every day. Subsequently, social media is also very convenient to stay updated about what's happening around us. Isn't it great if you are in Malaysia but still can know about what's happening in Japan without the limitation of boundaries? We don't have to wait for the newspaper to deliver us information. I could say that this is a very enormous benefit for a reader like me. Not only we save times, but also the cost of buying newspapers. There are a lot of applications that could keep you updated about worldwide issues such as Lumai, News Pocket, Flipboard, and so much more. At the same time, we could increase our knowledge through reading the articles and even expand our vocabularies. Nevertheless, despite of these advantages, there are still several disadvantages of social media that we still need to consider. The most obvious thing is that it reduces productivity that could lead to health problems. As we all know, social media is filled with a lot of fun videos, photos, games, and a lot of things that could keep you engaged for a long period of time. It is a good thing to spend time on it during your relaxing time, but it is not the case always. Just visiting the social media to check simple messages could turn out hours scrolling through the content, especially for those who are at work. Browsing social media in between could impact productivity at a huge scale. As a result, people don't even bother to exercise for the sake of their health. And some even delay their rest time by staying out late just to check on their social media updates. Browsing through social media for a long period of time without any break could cause health problems such as eye strain, back pain, and even obesity. According to the health minister, over than half of Malaysian adults are overweight or obese. This is a proof that if a person are doing minimal physical activity, their health can be deteriorate. The other disadvantages of social media is that it could spread negativity to younger generation by unrealistic displays of other people's life. As for example, people can use filters, editing software, or application that can change their appearance completely. There are photos that are edited to make people appear in the newest physical appearance trends and setting unrealistic standards to the eyes of others. This has made a lot of people think that physical appearance is the most important thing in life. This is why a lot of people nowadays refuse to eat healthily and ended up suffering from a disease that related to eating disorder. Most of them are also insecure with their own appearance. Reflecting on my own experience, I also once had this feeling too. At the time of COVID 19, I couldn't lie that I spent most of the time browsing on social media. Then I developed self conscious. I feel as if my appearance isn't enough. I'm not attractive, and no one ever cared that I've ever existed. I cut my calories and exercise to reach my dream body, but ended up being underweight. However, after I realized that most people in social media is using filters and edit their photograph figure, I tend to love myself more and keep telling myself that I'm good enough. Why will we be jealous over something that probably aren't real? Slowly, I changed my diet to a healthy one and always be grateful for what I am as long as I'm happy and healthy. In conclusion, there are good sides and bad sides in everything that we choose to get ourselves into. Everything has their own consequences, either something we desire or something that unexpectedly we have to deal with. At the end, it depends on how the individual utilizes it. Parents actually can play an important role on making sure that children will only get the best. Parents also is the best example on how to use social media appropriately to their children. If parents themselves don't know how to control their social media usage, then don't expect their children to do the opposite. Parents also should monitor their children's social activity to avoid damaging influence of the internet. For example, my parents installed an app called Family Link, which connect my device to theirs so that they could observe my social activities and set time limits so that I won't overuse social media and waste time on it. This is among a good example and a good move taken by parents to make sure that their children won't overuse social media and get addicted of using social media. I have come to the end of my speech. All in all, the positive side of social media greatly outweigh any disadvantage of using it. Thus, it is in us to decide the appropriate ways to use it and the wise way to using social media. With that,